All right, let's format some numbers. The first thing to keep in mind, not all the numbers are going to be formatted the same here. There's really going to be two main differences in the way we're formatting. The very top row, it might be kind of hard to see, but the very top row of these numbers that we're going to look at here are going to be different from the rest of that selected group down there. There's two things that we need. One is a dollar sign. The second is a comma. You only need a dollar sign in the top row, and you need a dollar sign in your total row. Everything else in between will just use a comma. Okay? You don't need dollar signs throughout the whole thing. And I've had people over the last couple of years turn in their spreadsheets with dollar signs plastered all over the place. No document ever looks good when you've got 800 million dollar signs all over the place. So can you even see what's going on right now? Probably not. This is what it looks like to me when I'm looking at papers. This is all that I see. So you want to make sure that you only put dollar signs where they need to be applied. Do not use dollar signs just to use them. Okay? You have to make sure you're formatting it correctly. So the first place that we're going to start here is on the corporate row. So I'm going to select the entire row, and I'm going to go to the Home tab. Now, for this example here, the way we're going to format these numbers, there's a couple different types of formatting that we are going to use. Two main ones, really, as far as dollar signs are concerned. That's accounting and currency. And I'll get into that a little bit more detail later on. But for right now, all we need is the accounting style. And the accounting style is actually, if you look here in your number group, Home tab, number group, all you need is this dollar sign. It is the accounting number format. Click on that. That's going to give you your dollar sign. And it's a fixed dollar sign at that. I got to zoom out here a little bit. Okay. Now, okay, good point here. So take a look at this right now. Many of you are going to see this. You're going to see these little hashtags. Do not worry about those. The numbers are still there. So I click inside, look at my formula bar. Numbers are still there. Okay. If you see this problem, don't fret. You can always move the rows or the column headings a little bit. But the numbers are still there. You can also zoom out a little bit too, which is what I did. And there we go. So now everything's back to normal. So don't freak out about that if you see that. Okay. The next step, we've applied the formatting button to the top row. Now we have to apply it to the last row. And there's actually one more thing that we have to do before we do that. In your total row, there's actually a cell style that we need. We applied the heading up here. Now there's actually a total cell style that we can apply as well. So under cell styles, look for under titles and headings, look for total, and apply that total down to the bottom. And it will actually bold and give you an underlined to draw your attention down there. So from there, then you can re-highlight, reselect your range, B9 through H9, and you can apply your accounting number button there as well. So I can zoom out a little bit more so I can take a look at my entire document. Okay. So right now through this point, we've gotten halfway through our steps. We've applied the accounting number formatting button to the top row and to the last row. That is all that you need, because we are assuming that everything else within this is in dollars and cents. Now, obviously, if it was a different currency, maybe we would have to apply that, but we're not gonna deal with that. Okay, we're just dealing with American dollars right now. Now the next step that we got to do is we have to highlight our range from B5 through H8. B5 through H8. Okay, there's my range, and I have to apply something, again, very simple. All you're going to do here is just apply a comma style. Okay, that comma style. Boom, there we go. This is all part of the, notice, this is all part of the accounting number style here. One way to make sure that you're on the right track is by looking at this option up here. Everything under this needs to be in accounting form. So for this option here, for your first assignment, everything is going to need to be in accounting form. So if something is not in accounting form, then you know you're in trouble. Okay, and you can see that everything here is in line. All the decimal places line up. So you want to make sure that your decimal places line up appropriately. Okay, now from there, we're actually closing in on the end here. We don't have a whole lot left to do. But one thing that we do want to talk about here is adjusting column width. So looking at the column width here, you're going to put your mouse in between any of these columns. For this example here, we're going to start with between A and B. And it's going to look like this. This is what your mouse will look like. And it gives you the option to move it left or right. You're going to get that split arrow. And to actually auto-fit it, it's going to take it to the largest item, wherever that column is. It's going to take it to the largest item. So if you double-click in between, for this example here, notice that we have government and phonathon, things like that. They're not visible. So we want to make the largest one to go visible. So in between A and B, there's my double-sided arrow. I'm going to double-click, and it will drag out all the way through phonathon. Okay, now notice here too. Okay, I just zoomed out a little bit, and I have all these hashtags. So if I want to display those, I can double-click in between and auto-fit all of my numbers. Just like so. Okay, so if you see those hashtags based on a certain view that you have, just use your auto-fit. Double-click in between each column. Okay, double-click between each column. Now, numbers, as far as formatting, that's it. That's all we have to do. We're actually almost there. Okay. Now, one thing I want to show you is this command table in order to select cells. If you want to look at this a little bit longer, just pause the video so that you can actually read through this. I'm not going to cover it all because there's just not enough time to cover it, and we're not going to use all of these options. So if you want to see these more, just pause the video. But the next video, we're going to talk about adding a chart. So next video is going to be the last one. So head on over to the last video where we will cover the chart and adding the chart.